Hi, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here, and boy, it's a nice sunny day today. I'm trying to guard my eyes from the sun, but man, I'm happy to be out here, and I got my P-51 by E-flite out here to fly today. The wind is coming right down the main drive here, so we got plenty of room for the landing, and I'm hoping to remember, think, keep some power in it on the landing, and it should look all right. And then pin that tail right there at the end so that it doesn't spin around and try to tip over on the wing. But I'm gonna do my best. Let's get this thing in the air and see how it does. All right, everything looks like it's moving the correct way. We'll go one click on the flaps for takeoff and for the landing today, guys. Throttle cut off, and as I said, we're gonna go right down these yellow stripes for the takeoff. We'll probably try to touch out over here somewhere, and when we fly, we'll fly this side so I'm not staring into the sun, but we do have to take off towards the sun, and hold that up elevator as we get it rolling. Keep it nice and straight. I love the way this thing looks. All right, guys, let's do it. So I let it go ahead and get in the air like it wanted to do. It started to turn, and I was like, well, if it wants in the air, let's let it go ahead and get up there. Get the gear going up. That's another awesome thing about the E-flite 1.5 meter is that tail wheel is a retract too. So as you can see, it is up, and man, this thing is so awesome. I love those stripes. You guys have heard me talk about those stripes on the airplanes before. I just love the way that looks on all of them. These warbirds, I think the stripes just is something a little special on them. If they can, when they make these airplanes, if they could pick a livery that have those stripes, I'm all for it. Every once in a while, people are asking me about my flying locations, and I do have permission to fly here, and I do try to fly around, not over the vehicles that are always parked in the corner. Typically there's a couple vans sitting over there, and they belong to the church, and then occasionally when one of the vans is out, whoever's using the van has a vehicle sitting there. But they know I'm here all the time, so they know what I'm doing, and I'm plenty ready to be responsible if I were to cause some type of damage. Typically, if I'm gonna crash here, it's usually out in the tall weeds or out on approach for the landing. It's never in that part of the pattern, so it's not too big of a deal. I am flying in high rates today, guys, and I keep lowering the throttle just a little too much. It's been a few days since I flew and crashed the Viper, and so I just thought, man, I'd pick this airplane and come out here and try and just have a good time. I was watching some videos on how to repaint. I think it was the RC Geek and somebody else with some really old videos, but you know, that's okay. Let's see what everybody does, and just trying to get an idea, because that new airplane that's coming out from E-flite, the D-18, I am super excited about that airplane, and I want to make sure that I put a different livery on it. I will fly it as it comes from the factory at least a few times, but there's an airplane called the Flying Lab or the Grimes Flying Lab, and it's kept in a museum right here close to me in Urbana, Ohio. And it is such a beautiful airplane, and that's what I would like to have that airplane look like. And so I'll fly it a few times, but you guys probably won't see it shortly after I fly it a few times, because I'll be trying to modify it into that flying lab, which is going to be kind of an interesting job, because beyond just the paint job, there's some wing pods that it needs, because the lab was used by a aerospace lighting company to test their products in flight. And so that's why I want to pick it. It looks really cool. I've seen it many times in my childhood. They fly it like during the 4th of July, right before fireworks show, and it looks pretty cool because they wait until it's dark out and they take it up and they have all the lights. This airplane, I don't know exactly the count, but I wouldn't doubt that it has like 100 lights on it. So it looks like people have said that my airplanes, when I fly night flying with them, that they could be considered like aliens or something by somebody. Well, this airplane, definitely somebody could confuse it with something that it's not. So I got the gear coming down. We'll do a pass to make sure they're down. My radio just told me my 5 minutes were up. So nice casual turn here, and I see 3. And you do have to check for that third one on this plane, because it does retract also. So here we go, 1 click on the flaps. And we got to stay in the power today, guys. Try not to forget. Steering it over the runway because it started drifting. Now full tail. I did that turn, so that was good, man. I had full elevator as soon as it was sitting down, and it helped me to steer it. Very happy with that. Now if I could just, I'm staring into the sun, so I'm struggling to steer as it comes back with the wind. And I'm trying not to go too fast. It's picking up some speed. I guess I could have raised those flaps back there, but there it is. I'm pretty happy with that. We didn't even get it leaning on that landing, so I spent quite a bit of time there trying to get it lined up with the runway. As it was going down, it was right along the edge of the drive, and I was trying to steer it back over the pavement because I didn't want to get it caught up in the gravel. And so right almost a half throttle the whole time on that landing until I got it sitting down. And then of course I killed the throttle just as I was pinning the tail, and that worked out great. So guys, super happy with today's flight with the E-flite. Hopefully you guys weren't completely annoyed with all the talk about the new Beechcraft D18. I'm super excited to get that airplane. It is also a 1.5 meter wingspan airplane with twin engines. So if you have never seen the Beechcraft D18, it has 2 rudders on the back, and it's got 2 motors. And I believe E-flite, from what I've seen, have synced up the motors with the rudders so that you got some differentiation in the motors to help with steering. And it should be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited. And if you've ever seen one in person, it's not a super big airplane, so it's going to be a pretty decent scale. And I can't wait to see it in person and get it in the air. I really appreciate all your guys' support, and until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here.